Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Super Meat Boy. We're going to be moving on in the Dark World today and doing Chapter 2, The Hospital. And for my character, I'm going to be using Ogmo from Jumper. Embarrassingly, I have to admit I have not played Jumper, but a lot of people have been encouraging me to do so because apparently it's very reminiscent of this game. And I guess that's the inside joke as to why it says ripoff under Ogmo's name, although who ripped off who, I'm not so sure. Anyway, Ogmo is actually one of the best characters in the game to use because he has a double jump. You might not realize that by the fact that I just died right there, and probably will die several more times throughout the course of this, and there you go. But yeah, no, really good character to use. The double jump in particular not only makes speed runs like a lot more feasible, even though Ogmo is slower than Meat Boy, the fact that he can make some of these more ridiculous jumps can shave a lot of time off of your best laps or best times here. Yeah, but also just in avoiding death, the double jump is essential. This is also my kind of big fuck you to the people who designed the levels for the kid from I Wanna Be the Guy. If you've seen the video where I showcased that level, you know I have some animosity towards it, and I have still not completed it, although I've put in a sizable degree of effort. But yeah, so this guy's got roughly the same power as the kid. So, I'm using him for now. Oh, I got chopped up by the fan. The fan levels actually really ideal for using Ogmo. The one bad thing I will say is that some of the levels in this section I truly believe are impossible to do using Ogmo. If not impossible, then unreasonably hard. And those are the ones that require you to be fast, like a situation where you might pick up a key and then the blocks underneath you start disappearing. So for those levels, I'll be using Meat Boy. Chapter 2, The Forest in the Dark World, is basically where we start reaching the limit of my skills to be able to provide these Let's Plays in under 15 minutes. Chapter 3, The Salt Factory in the Dark World, unreasonably hard, and that's going to take a lot of practice. So I think the next part you will see of the Let's Play is actually me attempting and probably failing to do a good Rapture run, get all of those levels done consecutively. A lot of people have been requesting that I don't edit the videos, and, you know, honestly, thus far, I have not. I've just been practicing to make sure I give a good run. But I think once we get to Rapture and the third Dark World, I am going to need to start editing in. Yeah. Anyway, it's not really... I'm not editing so that I'm not embarrassed. I'm cutting out all of these deaths because I don't know if you guys would actually want to see, like, a half hour of me trying and failing on a single level, like trying to get one jump down and just botching it over and over and over. I would find that pretty frustrating to watch and probably would not watch it myself. But you know, I'll give you guys what you want. If you want to see me die 1,000 times and have each level be, 6 parts on YouTube, let me know, and I'll try to find a way to come up with some inspiring and exciting commentary for that. These levels, for the most part, aren't really that hard, but they are pretty tricky. This took me a lot of practice to be able to do one pretty good run of this. They're probably as hard as the levels in Hell, let's say. Maybe even a little bit harder, but I'm kind of misrepresenting it because with Ogmo, some of these become easier than they are with Meat Boy. Like that jump right there is a lot harder with dissolving those blocks with Meat Boy than it is with Ogmo. But there's a little bit of give and take. This is another level that's really easy with Ogmo compared to Meat Boy, even though I'm just bouncing around aimlessly right now. Yeah, but there are levels that are, like I said, borderline impossible with Ogmo. Ooh, that was close. So yeah, keep the suggestions for new characters to use coming. Some people have jokingly suggested the kid from I Wanna Be the Guy. Again, I can't do that. I wish I could, and believe me, every night I'm trying a little bit harder on those levels. Not that I haven't been putting a significant amount of time into it, but I've definitely been working on it. Just no progress so far. Well, maybe a little bit of progress. This is one of those levels where I need to use Meat Boy, because Ogmo is just literally not fast enough to get up there. If he is, please let me know if you can do this level with Ogmo. I tried several times. Well, looks like I'm not the poster boy for this level anyway, because I just failed it with Meat Boy. But yeah, but in any case, if you can do this with Ogmo, let me know. I would be very interested in seeing that video. I think there's only one more level where I need to use Meat Boy, though. So we'll switch back to Ogmo here. This level is one of my least favorite in the game so far. I have a lot of trouble with this for some reason, both with Meat Boy and with Ogmo. This isn't a character-specific thing. But I seem to get caught by these saws. multiple times before I can actually finish this level. Although so far so good. This is really where the game starts to get a little bit absurd with the number of keys that they throw out. There's levels where you have to... Oh, god damn it. Levels where you have to get like 6 keys just to unlock the last key that unlocks the room where Bandage Girl is, so... This carries on almost ad infinitum. I stood there and just took it like a champ right there. This is kind of a catchphrase of mine, but this level, definitely within Chapter 2, The Forest Dark World, is my Everest. I have significant problems with this one. Just doesn't work with my brain for some reason. Oh, that was a nasty death. Ooh, that was close. This level also introduces... Oh, no, it doesn't. I'm thinking of Rapture, sorry. On Rapture, there's enemies that look like Super Meat Boy and actually chase you down. It's another enemy that really just doesn't seem to fit in with my Meat Boy strategy, and I get killed constantly on them. Oh, come on. So yeah, if you seeing me this frustrated appeals to you, let me know, and then I won't edit out as many deaths as I normally would. I still think I'll have to edit some out once we get to Rapture and the Dark World for the Salt Factory, just in order to provide a viewable product. But anyway, let me know, because it's going to be a lot more of this, a lot more of me dying constantly in pretty much the same spot. And you know, that's the beauty of Meat Boy. Is when you're playing it, you actually don't get that frustrated, at least not at this point in the game. Later on, some of the levels later on, you definitely will get frustrated on. I'm looking at you, the kid from I Want to Be the Guy. But at this point, it's still fun, you know? Because every death only takes maybe a minute or two out of your life. Or every level, I should say, where you die a lot. This is actually one of my favorite levels. Someone was telling me that these things are actually... dust bunnies? I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I trust that you guys maybe know more of the game's lore than I do. And this, alternatively, is actually one of my least favorite levels. Basically, anything with jumps, I love. Anything with fans, I have a real problem with. Again, just doesn't fit with me cognitively. But Ogmo's double jump actually makes the fans a lot easier, because if you double jump while you're inside of a fan, or inside of a fan's range of effect anyway, it will send you up a lot higher. So if you botch your first attempt, you can usually find yourself in an okay position just by double jumping. The trick for these guys is you really have to go as soon as they enter that increased vertical space, otherwise you're not going to make it. Oh, and we're good. Alright, that wasn't too bad. I've definitely had bigger meltdowns on this level. This one is one that I probably should be using Meat Boy for, so... Oh, whatever. We'll give it one more try with Ogmo and see how it works. And again, any levels with keys and locks that you have to outrun as they unlock, you're better off using Meat Boy. This one is not impossible using Ogmo, I've done it, but it's a lot easier if you're using Meat Boy as compared to Ogmo. So, you know, in hindsight, maybe Ogmo not the best choice for this set of levels, but, you know, it doesn't get any easier from here on out, so this seemed like as good a time as any to show him off. Plus, a lot of people wanted to see Ogmo. Really surprised so far. What I'm trying to do here is jump and get the key at the same time, because then I can get a little bit of a head start up those locks. Those are the kind of sneaky tactics you need to use as Ogmo here. One of the things that surprises me so far is not a lot of people have requested to see Tim from Braid, and he was really my most excited character to unlock. I understand that obviously the kid has a certain appeal for many of you who have played I Want to Be the Guy. But yeah, I was really excited for Tim. I'll probably get to him on maybe the next world, because that'll make it so I don't have to do so much editing. This has been Let's Play Super Meat Boy, the edition where I bitch about editing. Ogmo is fantastic on these laser levels, although you might not be able to tell by my shattered gameplay right there. But it makes this jump at the end so much easier, so you can kind of just blitz it, do it in one. Ooh, still pretty close though. Some of the levels in this game get really inventive in the way they make you get around lasers, and the next level is one where you will see that, no question. I believe it's the next level anyway. I've played this world so many times in practice that I feel like I've got a good intuition for it. Ooh, that was another one that was pretty close. Yeah, this level. This one is great for Ogmo. Fun, also frustrating. You gotta time these jumps perfectly. Yep, otherwise that'll happen. Here we go. Up and over. Up and over. Oh, yeah, botched it again. Once you get to the top, though, the level gets a little bit easier. Alright, well that's one way to do it, I suppose. Here we go. And again, please keep in mind, you are witnessing my best run. For me, it doesn't get any better than this. This is my LeBron James run of Super Meat Boy. My Wayne Gretzky run, if you will. My Gary Kasparov run, if you're not much of a sports fan. That means it's my best run. Alright, so that one wasn't too bad. And from here on in, they're actually not too bad, except this is another one where I need to use Meat Boy. I sincerely believe this one is impossible using Ogmo. Again, if you could take a video of you beating it with Ogmo, please let me know, and I'll find a way to let anyone watching these videos know that it is possible, and I'll give you adequate credit for it. Ooh, I always forget that the ceiling equals depth on this part of the level. Once it gets dark like this, it's a little bit harder to identify the obstacles, but I still think it looks really good. And I'm glad they chose to vary up the art style, otherwise it would probably get pretty boring considering there's, what, 300, 400 levels in the game? I heard a rumor that the developers are going to have it up to 400 levels by Christmas, which is insane considering all the DLC is free anyway. So yeah, don't worry about paying 10 or I guess now, since it's November, $15 for this game. You will definitely get your money's worth. Now, this level I think is actually a little bit easier than its Light World counterpart. Just because if you saw me do part 2 in the Light World, then you know I had a serious problem with the jumping puzzle at the end of this, and you know, a lot of people made fun of me just for calling it a jumping puzzle. Because really, it's just a couple simple one-block jumps, but with Ogmo, I guess it's much simpler, so just using the double jump allows you to bypass most of the things that cause me problems. Alright, so thank you for watching, guys. That was Chapter 2, The Forest in the Dark World. See you guys in the next part.